Here's what I wish doctors knew. I wish that doctors knew that I plan and plan and plan for all of our doctor's visits. I don't sleep the night before a lot of our doctor's visits. I have spreadsheets, I have running notes from our doctor's visits. Most doctors don't even know that. I bring my laptop in and I take detailed notes so that I won't forget what we discussed at our visits. But one thing that doctors don't know is that I figured them out. I have figured out that they are a little biased. Now, hear me out. When I used to go to some doctors, if I was dressed in leggings and a sweatshirt, they didn't hear me. They didn't hear what I had to say if I was talking to my daughters. About my daughters. They would tend to just sort of brush me off. And you might be sitting there saying, "No, you're not right, Mary. Doctors, they know what they're doing." But let me tell you, when you've been to as many doctor's appointments as I have with my kids, I'm right. The very, very, very important doctors that I have to go to with the girls, I tend to get dressed like I'm a lawyer. I most of the times will wear heels because they tend to take you more seriously. I have, even for myself, when I would go in for appointments for my when I was getting my ribs removed and whatnot, go see my vascular surgeon, I would go dressed in a skirt, not just showing off my legs. Like my skirt could be all the way down to the ground, but I would wear heels. And my hair would be done, my makeup would be done, I'd be dressed perfectly. I would even have my work badge on because it makes you look more official. I could ask for any test that I wanted, and I, for the most part, would get it because I was believable. I didn't sound crazy. And I know that sounds insane, but people treat you differently based on how you look, based on how you're dressed. And when, for my girls and their appointments, it's the same thing. I would go to their appointments, and initially I'd be in leggings because it'd be a long trip to the city or on the train and I didn't want to get my jeans dirty or whatever. But there was this one appointment where I went in leggings, a very cute top, but we literally were laughed at when we were struggling so hard. And I looked at them and nearly burst in tears because I felt like they just weren't listening. And they weren't. They did absolutely nothing for us that trip. And it was after that trip that I realized I am never going down to a doctor's appointment again without looking my absolute best. Well, I went down to one of the doctors, and this is when I found out that my daughter had liver disease. She told me, "Oh, yes, she has liver disease. Something's wrong." Well, no, she didn't tell me that she had liver disease. She told me something was wrong with her liver. And basically, after all of the tests, it showed that her liver was enlarged, it had fat in it, it had all these issues. I said, "So what's the next step?" She goes, "Oh, we wait." What do you mean we wait? She also did not point out that her kidneys, the volume of one kidney had doubled in size. So I pointed that out to her. Her response was, I don't deal with kidneys. What do you mean you don't deal with kidneys? You're a doctor. I only deal with the liver. But she didn't even point me in the right direction. I got furious and I said, you need to at least communicate with somebody. Tell her, him, point me in the right direction. Nope, I lost it. It's like, okay. I left that hospital and immediately I did some research, found out who you would call if your child's liver is not doing well. I found out my daughter has a liver disease, so I called a hepatologist. And on the way down to the hepatologist, I was getting myself prepared. And let me show you how I get myself prepared. I tend to, on the drive down, I listen to music that is going to get me fired up. So, as I'm driving down, I tend to listen to DJ Snake, and I want to know that I am ready. So I'm driving. I don't care who's watching. I'm getting myself ready. Hey. What? My daughter can't stand it. But I don't care because I'm getting myself pumped up and I'm getting myself ready for that next step. Because you never know what that doctor is going to say, if they're going to listen to you, or if they're going to just... There are plenty of songs you can listen to, but one of the songs that I really, really like to listen to, because it just gets me all like pumped up, is Becky G's Built for This. It's just one of those that just like says, I mean, honestly, it's the song that I play in the parking lot. I play it and I'm getting ready to get out of the car, and it's like, okay, you've got it. But first I gotta know, can you take control? I gotta know if you're built for this, built for this, built for this. I want to know if you're built for this. Okay, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so like, am I built for this? I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to have sick kids. I didn't know how to raise sick kids. I didn't know how to fight the system. I didn't know I would have to fight the system. Why do I have to fight the system? Why is there a system to fight? Like, why are doctors not doing their effing jobs? That's what I want to know. Like, why do I have to dress up to be taken seriously? And what about the parents that are out there just so exhausted that come in and just expect the job, a doctor to just do their job? And then they come in and they realize, like, maybe they're being discriminated against. They're being judged because of how they look. And they're not being taken seriously. I shouldn't have to listen to music to get pumped up. And you know what? I walked into that hepatologist and I told him, I said, he's like, oh, let's start I go, no, you sit. I did tell him that. Like, you sit. This is how it's going to go. And I was very forceful. I have never been so forceful in my life. I told him this is how it's going to go. He sat back like, okay. And I go, this system has made me into a psycho mom. This system has made me into one of those Google moms that Googles all of her kids' symptoms. And you know what? I've been right. I know more about the liver, the kidneys, the lungs, more about blood work, blood results. I've graphed more than I should. Because I should just be at home taking care of my daughter. while you should be doing your job. And I wish you would just do your job so I can do mine as a mother.